Hello, and welcome back to Corporate Autopsy. Today, we investigate the fall of a titan, a company that didn't just sell a product, it connected the world. We're talking about Nokia. In the early 2000s, the word phone was synonymous with Nokia. Their devices were indestructible. At their peak in 2007, Nokia held nearly 50% of the global mobile phone market, a share no one has matched since. They were a hardware juggernaut, masters of design. But inside their unbreakable phones was a fatal flaw: their software. Nokia's phones ran on an operating system called Symbian. For its time, it was efficient. But it was designed for keypads, not touchscreens. It was notoriously difficult for developers to create apps for. Symbian was a king from a bygone era, and it was not ready for the revolution that was coming. The year is 2007. Steve Jobs walks onto a stage and introduces the world to the iPhone. It wasn't just a phone, it was a powerful computer in your pocket. It had a revolutionary touchscreen and user-friendly software. The game had just changed forever. How did the king of phones react? With arrogance, Nokia executives publicly mocked the iPhone. They called it a niche toy that was too expensive and had a terrible battery. They were confident their hardware would protect them. They saw the iPhone as a novelty, not a threat. This was their moment of denial. As Nokia was focused on Apple, a second, more dangerous enemy appeared: Google's Android. Android was a modern operating system that Google gave away for free. Suddenly, anyone could make an iPhone competitor. Nokia was now being attacked from the high end by Apple, and from all other sides by an army of Android devices. Inside Nokia, there was panic. They knew Symbian was dying. They hired a new CEO from Microsoft, Stephen Elop, to save them. Elop wrote an infamous memo comparing Nokia to a man on a burning oil platform. He said they had to jump. The memo destroyed employee morale and publicly signaled to the world that Nokia's own products were a failure. The jump was Elop's fatal decision. Nokia abandoned its own software, both the dying Symbian and a promising new one called MeeGo. They chose to exclusively use Microsoft's Windows Phone. It was a desperate gamble. Instead of saving themselves, they jumped onto another burning platform. The alliance was a catastrophic failure. The new Nokia Windows phones were well built, but the software lacked the apps and ecosystem of iOS and Android. Customers stayed away. Sales plummeted. Nokia's massive market share simply evaporated. In 2013, what was left of Nokia's once mighty phone business was sold to Microsoft, ending the reign of the phone king. So, what is the official cause of death in the autopsy of Nokia? The iPhone and Android were the weapons, but they weren't the killers. The real cause was a lethal combination of corporate arrogance and indecisiveness. They were too proud to admit a competitor was better. They were too slow to adapt, and their final, panicked decision to partner with Microsoft sealed their fate. Nokia's story is a powerful lesson. In technology, you are never safe. Superior hardware means nothing if your software is a generation behind. You must be willing to abandon what made you successful to survive in the future. Thank you for joining our corporate autopsy.